Now, the Prime Minister has called it the biggest expansion of childcare in England's history. And it starts in just a few days. But will some parents miss out on the childcare expansion? Exclusive analysis by our FactCheck team suggests many families will struggle to find a nursery or childminder. There's already some funded childcare for all 3- and 4-year-olds in England, and next week more parents of 2-year-olds will also qualify for 15 hours a week during term time, or about 11 hours over a full year. But are there enough places to cater for them? We've been to a nursery in Merseyside to look at the situation there.
Well, right, hello, well done. Now step onto this.
This is what many parents want from the government's flagship childcare offer. But with just days to go, will they actually get a place?
So, Dan, can you physically offer more funded places to 2-year-olds then, as the government wants you to?
No, not at the moment. This is our rising 2s and 2-year-old room, so this would be the relevant space, and we are full.
Diane runs Tiger Tots in Kirby. They've been inundated with parents asking about the new funded childcare. But unless you're lucky enough to have a 2-year-old here already, it's not good news.
What's it like having to give parents the bad news?
Obviously, it's devastating because we have parents call up and say, OK, I've been given a code. My child's now got 15 hours. Can my child start with you next month? And obviously, at that point, we can say, well, no, we've got a very extensive wait list, and the most immediate start we've got is September, and someone looking at January. So I just don't think the information that they've been given about the places available and what they do with that code is as transparent as it could have been.
So increased demand, but here they're wondering how to serve up more places. Without cash to expand their premises, with fierce competition for workers, and a struggle to make rates for the funded places cover their costs.
On our wait list, we've got an awful lot of children that have come from nurseries that have closed in the local area. And again, I feel like people are just being forced to closure because of the affordability, the costing of staffing, the running costs of the businesses are just becoming astronomical.
That's not my bunny. Its eyes are too shiny. That's my bunny. His ears are so soft.
Amy's 2-year-old Chris already has a place, so the funded hours will shave a bit off the costs.
My mortgage is less than my childcare that I pay for now at the moment.
You pay less for your mortgage?
Pay less for my mortgage, yeah, than I do for my childcare.
But as Amy and her husband both work full-time, the pressure on childcare places is a big worry.
Is the availability of childcare a consideration when you're thinking about maybe having another child?
Yeah, definitely, because we probably have to put our name on a waiting list before a child's even born, if we were thinking of expanding.
That's amazing, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
He's got one.
Knowsley Council say they're supporting a recruitment drive to respond to increased demand and don't expect a shortage of places over the borough as a whole come April. This nursery, though, sadly can't conjure up more places, and they're not alone.
Well, our FactCheck team has compared childcare supply and demand across every English council area using the best, albeit imperfect, data available. For every 100 children who will be using or wanting the funded hours from next week, there are 110 childcare places on average. But these are places that have to be shared with families who pay privately. And it disguises the fact that getting a childcare place is so much harder in some parts of the country than others. In the richest 20% of councils, we predict for every 100 children wanting free hours, there will be an average of 127 places. But in the poorest areas, we calculate for every 100 children wanting those funded hours, just 96 childcare places on average. And for dozens of individual council areas, the situation is even tougher. Among the worst hit is Hull, where we expect that for every 100 children seeking free childcare in April, there will be just 79 places of any kind. In Leicester, we're expecting the same figure. And the very worst served area is Blackpool. For every 100 children wanting funded hours, just 78 places. Why? Well, one reason providers say in poorer areas, nurseries don't get the same financial boost that richer areas get from parents paying higher fees for extra childcare beyond their funded hours. And this whole issue is now a huge political row. Today, the government claimed Labour would cancel the childcare expansion. Labour said that was nonsense, they won't take away families' entitlement, and accused the Conservatives of being unable to guarantee parents the childcare it promised them. The Department for Education disputes the idea that there won't be enough capacity, so we put our findings to the Education Secretary, Gillian Keegan, earlier today.
Last year alone, there was an additional 13,000 people who joined the workforce, and also there's been a bit of discussion about places. There's 16,000 more places last year over the year before, and that's before this policy was even introduced. We are working to make sure that you have a funded place wherever you are around the country. So that's what this policy is designed to deliver. So from next week, you can have 15 hours for 2-year-olds, which will be rolled out. We will then be increasing that to 15 hours for under 2-year-olds in September. And we're deliberately doing this in chunks so that we can make sure we build the workforce. And then we'll roll out the full policy by September 2025.
And what are the councils we referred to saying? Well, Leicester City Council says it expects to have enough places, but it also says the government's approach does not fully appreciate the challenges that providers face. Blackpool Council tells us it's working hard to meet demand, but it will be a challenge. Likewise, Hull Council, which says while it will have enough places in April, it has further work to do before younger children become eligible in September.